Woo! Hey everybody, it's the Sleazegrinder Super Rock Power Half Hour. Let's go!
I'm a no wolf, but it ain't my night to howl. I'm a big bad wolf, and I just been on the prowl. I went to see my baby, and she said to me, "You ain't the wolf that you used to be." I'm a no wolf, but it ain't my night to howl.
To the Sleazegrinder Super Rock Power Half Hour right here on Channel 9 in Cambridge, and of course streaming live on the internet all over the world. We're here to solve the rock and roll crisis, and tonight, everybody, we have a near constant rock and roll crisis with us.
There may be a
Right there.
rock and roll crisis.
It's pretty exciting.
happening tonight.
It's time that we had one.
Yeah,
So feel free.
a rock and roll anything.
Yeah, we're gonna talk to
Jesus.
this guy in a minute. Stace, close up on this specimen right here. Look at him. There he is, via the Karinations.
Hello.
There he is.
Yeah, that's me.
He lives.
Yes, and I'm alive.
No one's seen this guy for
Where it
years.
says
Here he
Karen G,
is.
you can look right.
Oh, okay.
Only,
Okay. Yeah.
only the Sleazegrinder show could get this guy.
Yeah, I don't. I
No, he's-
don't get out. I don't get around often.
We tried once before, so
We did.
it's nice to really have
Yeah.
you.
No,
My name
thank
is-
you. It's nice.
My
to,
name is Ken. You might know me
See.
as the frankly legendary rock writer Sleazegrinder, and with me as always, it's the last gang in town, the TV edition. To my left, of course, it's the future mayor of rock and roll, Chris Heavy Necker Cardone. To my immediate right, producer of the show, my beautiful bride Stacey Dawn, and right there, the Chachi to my fawns, Stacey DC. So welcome everybody to the show, and tonight we have V from the Karinations with us.
Yes.
For real this time. He was supposed to be on our radio show a few months ago. I forget what happened. A fridge fell on you or something.
it was a cross between the scene in Poltergeist with the tree and a Donnie Darko type of thing.
Yeah.
I don't like to get into it 'cause it's a bummer, man.
It's
but
water
I
under the
want
fridge.
to be
You're
there.
here now.
I really am here now. So there
It's
you
water
go.
under the fridge.
It's all water under
It's
the
water
fridge.
under the fridge.
Yeah, that's what happened.
First though, let's quickly, I want to recap Halloween, everybody. It's currently November 2nd, and you're right, I forgot. We have to put our banner back up.
Yeah,
Next
man.
week we'll get the banner back up. It's 2 days after Halloween, which is, Halloween's really the only cool holiday. Let's face it, Chris.
Yeah, it actually, yeah.
Right?
I agree with that.
And most of the time-
better than Christmas.
Most of the time people blow it. You prepare all year for Halloween, and then you get up to Halloween, and then you get it all wrong.
And at least skeletons are real.
They really
So
are.
I mean, that's a holiday based around something truthful anyway.
And I have to say, I'm going to go on record to say that this was probably the most successful Halloween that I can even remember, to be honest with
Really,
you.
man? I spent it with you and you hated half of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe I was just complaining for effect because I had a good time the whole time, really.
Wow, great. Me too.
Okay. Chris did acid. We'll get to that in a moment. But Stacey, DC, and I, we attended a race, a 5K.
And participated.
I was hoping she brought her medal to show off because she was the age group champion.
Third place.
Set third place.
Wow.
30th. She came in 30th. I came in 90th, Chris. You know,
Hey,
no medals for me.
Whatever.
No trophies for trying.
Still good.
It's not about winning, it's about however the rest of that saying goes.
Exactly. And
It's
then
about having fun, which you didn't have.
we saw our pal Stabatha wrestle some chicks and then mangle a corpse in the bathtub. Right?
Yeah.
Right, Stace?
It really was a bloodbath. She wasn't kidding.
Yeah.
I've seen them.
And also the fog machines made everybody evacuate the building. That was exciting. We lost Stacey DC for a few minutes there, but it all worked out in the end, right?
Yeah.
We all had a good time.
Never do drugs with strangers. That's all I got.
And I think it worked out for you, really. So
Most
I
of
would
the
say
time.
the opposite. I would say the
Yeah.
opposite.
You're right.
Any opportunity you have to do drugs with strangers,
It's
you probably
better.
do
Then
it.
you do something stupid. You wake up at someone's house you don't know. You don't care that you pissed in their sink or
Right.
you did
It's a
something.
stranger. What do you
Yeah,
care?
what do you care? The only problem is now you gotta
That's
find
right.
your car.
Man.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what neighborhood am I in? I don't know.
Also, I have some excellent footage of Stabatha's wrestling match that I'm going to show on this show soon.
Man.
It's really good.
You kind of got your butt kicked, which I like.
Gosh, it's an Australian. I mean, Australians are hard to wrestle. All right, Chris, how did it go down for you? Tell us about your your Halloween drug adventure, and then of course we'll get to the great V of the Karinations. Go ahead, Tom. Tell us how it all went down.
Well, it all went down. Me and a good friend of mine, Keith. We got about
Keith, also of Heavy Necker?
Yes. We got about 2.5 tabs each, and we took it immediately, and
Is
it
one
looked
not
like
enough?
Yeah, well, tell us.
no one is not enough. See, okay,
So is one tab a dose of?
yeah, well, it
acid?
depends on how you get it. Acid
Yeah.
can come in many forms. I've done acid where it was like liquid and it was put into a sweet tart. That was
Yeah.
kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I've had acid when it was in pizza before.
Sure. Pizza acid. of
They
course.
soaked pieces
Acid
of pepperoni in acid.
Snacks.
And this time they just had like paper strips that it was soaked into, and it was like digital camo printed.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can get different kinds, but I don't really know a whole lot about it. I just take it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we did 2.5 because if you take just one, you get the climb but not the fall.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like when you're on a roller
Get up
coaster and you're
there.
like, oh yeah, it's like here we go,
You
here we go,
there's
and then you're like, ah! Well, if you take only one, then it's just like, oh, okay, it's gonna happen,
But,
it's gonna
so
happen.
you want the?
Oh, you do,
They want
because
the
that's
water.
the trip.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That's the trip.
All right.
You get
So-
kind of anxious in like a really nice, comfortable
Yeah.
way, but then sometimes it doesn't happen if you don't take enough.
So 2.5. That's what you took.
2.5 is usually pretty good.
Yeah.
One time I took 4 and that was out of control.
Right. So tell
but-
us how Halloween happened. How it all went down. You took it, and then what happened?
Me and Keith watched a bunch of really old interviews of Paul McCartney, and there's this one where he compares himself to Hitler.
Yeah.
And he's talking about how when Beatlemania happened, they could have taken over the world, but he didn't want to.
Right.
And we just paused the video and we're like, Paul McCartney, that's a really intense thing to say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It
I
sounds
don't
like
know.
a bunch of teenagers smoking pot.
Yeah, exactly. So you did the acid and you watched Paul McCartney videos. Is that the end of the story? Is this how it all ends?
No,
Is there
not
a
exactly.
highlight?
We went on a walk through Salem, but it was long after all the craziness was happening because they shut down Salem at like
Yeah.
11
Oh
p.m.
yeah, you can't go in there at Halloween. It's
Well, you
I
can.
mean, you can't. It's horrible.
Yeah,
Why would
but we were out at probably like 2 a.m. and there was like these group of kids that approached us and they were like, hey, like, what do you think of like people traveling in groups and like beating the shit out of people and robbing them in the middle of the night? And I was just like, I don't like that at all. And they're like, all right, well then don't do that. And they walked away and I was just like, I want acid right now. I have no idea what I would have done if that guy like actually picked. I probably would have poked his eyeballs out and eaten
Yeah.
them.
Oh
Right.
yeah. Well, that's
This one move
usually-
just.
That's when
Maybe you
your fight or
did.
flight kicks
Maybe
in,
I
yeah?
did.
Maybe you did.
I don't even know.
Let me ask you this: was it a successful acid fried Halloween? Would you say?
Was
it everything you wanted
I'd
it
give
to
it a
be?
7 out of 10.
Okay, good. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear it from everybody. Come on. Oh, quickly before we talked to V. So last week we had Ian Adams of Rock City Crime Wave on the show, and we were talking about. Remember, Stace? We were talking about Rocket Skull,
Yes.
which was the by the way, first song on the first Rock City Crime Wave record. Very influential to me as a person. So later on, I went and I got a Rocket Skull tattoo. I'm gonna show the people, but I gotta go up there because I can't see it from here.
All right.
Okay,
Let's see it.
so.
Oh, you're also probably the only guy with the Zodiac Mind Warp tattoo, actually.
No, everybody in Zodiac Mind Warp has a Zodiac Mind Warp
Oh,
tattoo.
do they really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
If you're in the band, you have to get one.
Oh
That's
wow,
true.
look at him.
Oh, geez, I never thought this would happen on our show.
Or NCC TV.
All right, yeah, hold
Are
on.
we doing nudity?
Yeah.
Oh, my
Show
phone.
us
See
up,
this?
buddy.
I gotta turn this
Where's the
on.
camera?
No, camera 1 can.
Camera one, buddy.
Everyone.
Camera 1, okay. Can you see it? You
No.
can't
No,
see
it's
it.
too dark.
I'm really blowing it. Anyway, it's Rocket
I'm
Skull.
turning something sour. I'm so sorry.
Look at these deep V's. Chris,
If you can, look everybody, it's a Rocket
Is
Skull.
that
I've been
what
going
your V
tanning, so
comes
I'm trying
from,
to
the
show it
deep
off.
V chest.
No, but I like that, and I may use it in the future and not credit you.
Yeah.
I do that with pretty much everything.
Oh, because he's V, so if
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
it takes double meaning.
Well, I'm just trying to bring sexy back,
I mean,
But
you brought it.
I would say, I mean, you're really that V is really plunged.
right?
I do it to the second. Chris, he has a T-shirt on today, but he does the
I do the deep V.
he does the deep V.
I got
Ken's
the
always
tats on my
showing more
arms, so,
cleavage
yeah.
than I am, no matter what.
Yeah, exactly.
We're trying to free the nipple. That's what we're trying to do.
Well, they kind of New York. You can go down Times Square now. You could have no shirt on if you're a female.
So
They do
listen,
that, you know that.
so listen,
Get
everybody.
off topic.
V was the chief architect in the Stacy, could you go on the web perhaps, bring up, of course, the classic American standard and just play, 30 seconds so people get a little taste of what the Karinations offered people musically in this town. Yeah. But what happened is they were one of the most notorious bands in town, and honestly, they imploded under the weight of their own notoriety. Would you say that is the case,
We're actually still together. We just work when we feel like it. Like we're actually doing a compilation thing now, a greatest misses type of thing with some extra tracks and a new song. But yeah, we work when we feel like it. But yeah, we did. It's exactly what happened. That's something that perfect. Yeah. Well, we didn't really, because we just took too much of the party, because it all became more about the party and less about the playing, which a lot of people fall into that problem.
All right. Well, listen. The reason that I brought you on the show tonight, is because I just wanted to tell you that
I don't do drugs anymore, so I can't sell you any. That's why you brought me on.
I need you to get the band back together.
Does one have to do drugs to sell drugs?
And I need you to get the band back together, V, and I need you to start playing gigs again.
Yeah. Well, the band's
because we've been trying to solve the rock and roll crisis. It's been months now, right?
Yeah, and
there's too many holes to plug on our own.
right.
Yeah.
So honestly,
it's a sinking ship, V.
This town has always been horrible as far as
Stacey,
music
can you get V on the
am I
on the
far away?
screen?
Do I need to look?
You're fine. Stacey just got
Justice League.
Stacey just has to cut to the great V when we're yeah. So I just need you to get the band back together, okay?
Yeah. Well,
if you saw some of the bands that were operating today in this town, you would be aghast.
Forget it.
I'm telling you, you would be aghast.
When we were operating were terrible too. It was never good here. I mean, it really wasn't. I mean, there's just so much fake posery. I can curse on here.
Yes, yeah.
Bullshit.
You are, yeah, go ahead.
It's ridiculous, and a lot of it I find comes from those corners of the musical spectrum that you didn't think it would come from. The indie guys, the punk guys. It's like those are the guys that didn't always seem to be doing it for the right reasons. I mean, I've told you a story recently about a known punk dude in town who's whatever.
Who are you talking about? Tell us who you're talking about.
Dave Tree.
Dave Tree. Okay.
Dave Tree, nice guy. Partied with him a bunch of times. Some stories you probably can't tell, but nice enough guy. But he used to get on me about my makeup and the way I used to present myself on stage. And I'd be like, well, it's fun. I do this. It's creative. I enjoy it. He goes, yeah, but don't you want to be taken seriously?
Right.
And I'm like, this is the punk guy of Boston asking me to be taken seriously. Dude, you're missing the whole goddamn point. It's like, what, you want people to take you seriously? Hey, this is my driver.
Oh, hey.
Oh, hey.
No, go that way. I'm sorry.
She brought you a drink.
And I'm not getting down on Dave Tree, because he's a nice guy. But I just thought that was
well,
kind
now
of...
you guys are mortal enemies. You're calling them out on television.
Well, I'll call out anybody. I don't care, because I don't need
I think
anybody.
you're calling him out with him.
Oh, I'll call out anybody.
I'm just nudging him. He's doing all the work.
I'll give you dirt on...
Instigator.
Yeah, that's your best talent, enabling catastrophe.
But on the topic of the current state of things, I was talking to somebody.
There is no state, really. There's nothing going on.
There's always a state.
Wait, so can we play a little American Standard, Stace? Is that possible? Oh, yeah, let go.
Time because of the way we looked, and you like Motley Crue, you're a 508 band. You're not like Integrity.
You were a 508 band. That was the problem. Because you were living out there in Lawrence or someplace crazy.
I still do pretty much.
By the way,
but you know what? Lawrence is way harder.
Where's town in America?
Any of these punk guys come from.
Yeah,
so it's
it is tougher. I gotta give you that.
Man. I lived there.
If you can survive Lawrence, you can survive anything.
Yeah, and I'd have no problem.
What town are you in now?
In Methuen.
Methuen.
Which
here's what I like about Methuen.
About 2 steps from Lawrence.
Yeah.
Here's what I like about Methuen. It sounds like Paul Stanley saying something wrong. Methuen.
Methuen.
Right?
All right.
How y'all doing?
Yeah. Yeah. It
How
does
y'all
sound like-
doing tonight?
You must
Right?
You must have heard that.
All right?
The bootleg that has just all his stage rap.
Yeah.
I listened to that thing for so many. I listened to that probably more than all the times I listened to Kiss records combined.
Let me ask you this. Give us some of the best Karinations lowlights. What went the most wrong?
Yeah.
What went the most wrong is that we didn't care. We weren't career-minded, and which is kind of weird because a lot of people that get into a band, the idea is to get. What's camera can I look at?
Camera 2 is you.
Oh, camera.
Camera 2.
Yeah, the one you're staring into right now. Yeah.
But we didn't care
Yeah.
because when you have a passion for something,
Right.
and you do it, you win.
Right,
That's your
of course.
There's nothing else beyond that. So, but also, when it comes to music and other forms of art, you want people to hear it or see it because otherwise you're just creating stuff in a vacuum, and what's the point? You play to 11 of your friends in a basement and you have integrity.
Yeah, I get it. So what went wrong?
Well, it generally is that we didn't, we just weren't career-minded. We didn't follow up on anything that was offered to us. Many bands try to wait for their big break.
Yeah.
We'd have stuff come across the desk that could have potentially been a big break.
Right.
Many times, and we just, like for instance, gigs, great gigs. We had a great
What were you
gig.
doing instead of?
Yeah, what were you doing instead of the great
We
gig?
were hungover. We didn't care. We weren't in this to be rich or famous. We were happy doing the stuff, writing songs and playing gigs and then partying. That was fun.
Yeah.
But what was cool is that even though we were hated by our peers, we always got good marks from guys we respected, like Kenny Highland and Joe Mazzari and the late Joe Coughlin and guys like you,
Right.
Who I'm sorry, about that, who were fans and appreciate us. Tim Katz as well. So guys like those, that's what mattered to us. When Kenny Highland sits with you and says, "You guys are the next thing. You guys are gonna, you guys are gonna take over here." We're like, wow, that's really cool. It's Kenny Highland saying that, but we weren't driven enough career-wise to
This
try.
guy, Chris Heavy Ricardo, and this guy is a good cautionary tale. Because they were going to be the next big, they really were going to be the next
Oh,
big
and
thing.
that's what everybody told
And they
us.
completely blew it. So,
We didn't though.
by the way, he's going to be the next big thing. So
Maybe you could
give him some advice quickly. Give this guy
We
some
had a
advice.
manager.
Well, I mean, I'm already feel like I'm doing all right because when we're hungover, we play the gig anyway.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, see, so as far
Don't
as I'm
be any
concerned,
more hungover.
I don't think we failed or anything because I got to do a lot of things that I enjoyed. I got to meet people I didn't think I'd ever meet. I got to jam. I got to record some songs with Matt Storm down the basement. If
Listen,
I
man,
play with anyone.
I don't think you blew it either. You know that I don't think you blew it. I think it's part
we blew
of
it in the mind. Why won't they let you in?
she's got to
Is
ring the
this
bell
ruining the
and
show
let her
by
in.
me talking to her?
All you got to do is ring the bell and
can
look
listen
me.
Just ring the bell. She doesn't know.
His driver's outside.
Yeah.
She's also
It doesn't look like
For the
she has
people
a
at
gift.
home that are wondering what is going on,
It's my
his
driver,
is outside.
attorney, power of estate, common law wife, a bunch of stuff. I like to consolidate these, but going back to it,
Yeah.
She's your whole
is
world.
if you're doing
Yeah.
something that you're passionate about
Yeah.
and you're having fun doing it, you won.
Yeah.
You don't need to be famous, and who cares about it? If you're into that, then you're into that. That's fine.
What would you do differently if you had to?
Nothing. No regrets, right? Couple regrets.
I don't like when you see guys that say stuff like, unless you let me. You see people that say like, "Oh, no regrets, man. I do everything the same." That's bullshit.
What would happen though is that
That's bullshit. I have plenty of regrets.
So V was the front man, and what he would do a lot of the times is he would there'd be guitar solo or something, and he would swing his
oh yeah,
microphone like that.
The Roger Daltrey move.
yeah, and half
Yeah,
the
yeah.
time he would either break the microphone or hit himself in the head or hit somebody else. in
Sound
the head.
guys love that shit.
Yeah. So, would you continue swinging the microphone if you could do it again?
Oh yeah. Oh, I can do it again.
Yeah.
I can do it now. I mean, me and Nikki talk about doing shows all the time, and we put out the EP last Did you hear the EP we put
Yeah,
out
of course,
last?
of course.
Did you like it?
But I wanted to give the people the old stuff because that's what you're supposed to do. You can't just throw
No,
the
we
new
have a
stuff
new
at
thing
them.
coming out, so well, whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, we were going to put shows on around that, and Karinations really was never a band. It was a duo. It was me and Nikki,
Right.
and whatever guys we could wrangle to help us record and do shows.
Yeah.
The same thing would happen all the time, though, is these guys would have their other main bands,
Yeah, yeah.
and they'd come and do their little side project with us as a favor, and they'd realize, wow, no one cares about our band. This little side project I'm doing, I'm actually playing the people, and then they'd kind of get an attitude about it.
Yeah.
And I'm sometimes a dick, and I might have or might not have pointed that out to some of them, and maybe you got, and they had problems with it. These musicians have huge egos, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, a lot of artists do. They think it's like they're there and there's the universe around them. It's like, well, it's not like that, man.
So what I'm saying to you, V,
Yeah.
if we can recap here.
Yeah.
About getting the band back together, playing gigs.
Yeah, I'd love to play gigs.
Because I got a satanic techno thing happening, as you know, called Corpse Paint.
Yes.
And listen, here's the Karinations. Middle-aged guy, young chick, right? That's
Yeah.
what's happening.
Yeah.
That's my band too.
Really?
Middle-aged guy, young chick. So we got to support each other on
We're
this.
like the same age.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
We're a couple of creeps. We got to get up there and do this thing together.
Yeah, but there's guys a lot older than us still doing it. So as long as they can do it, we can still do it.
Of course we can. We
Yeah,
can
and
still
there's
do it.
no age to it. Like, as long as you're creating something, there's always this weird. Well, it's when you think about music, and people talk about age and those kind of things, and fame and success, and where things went wrong, they're thinking about it in terms of money,
Yeah.
or fame in an old system that doesn't exist anymore,
Right.
and that isn't really driven by a creative passion. It's driven by how many likes can I get, or how popular am I? It's like, who cares? You don't need everybody.
Yeah. Let me ask you this,
That's the
V.
mistake people make. They think you don't need everybody.
Let me ask you this: who's better, Guns N' Roses or Motley Crue?
Guns N' Roses by a whole lot.
Chris Heavy Neck Cardone,
I hate Motley Crue.
Motley Crue's not a good band.
Stacey DC,
Yeah, I mean, I know that I hate Motley Crue, but I don't love Guns N' Roses either.
Stacey Dawn.
What was the question?
Motley Crue or Guns N' Roses?
Yeah, who's better?
Guns N' Roses.
Because quite frankly, Karinations always leaned more towards the Motley Crue side of things.
That's because we didn't play very well on stage.
Right.
And that's why we also got the punk tag a lot. People would say punk, sleaze, glam. I don't know what sleaze sounds like, but I know what it looks like, and it's right there. But punk, it was just, we wanted to play rock, we just didn't do it well.
Yeah.
People just thought we were punk, because
Yeah.
that's kind of all it is, really. You know what I mean? But getting back to Motley Crue, the best Motley Crue album is the one that doesn't have Vince Neil singing. It's got a guy named John Corabi.
Right.
Really
That's
good
not.
album.
I mean, it's not the best album. It's the first album.
But they're just, I'm not.
Here's the point, everybody. Here's the point. And V, of course, thank you very much for being here. This is a very brief show. It's almost over, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
But here's what I want to say. Against all odds and against better judgment even, I still believe in V, and I still believe in the Karinations.
Thank you. And you always have our back, man, which is great. You're one of the first guys that gave us a good review, and there's this hive mind thing. That when someone of any stature does something, it's deemed cool. So I think you giving us that review
What's your driver doing?
got a
She's
lot.
holding
That's
up
your gift.
something.
That's a reverse on glass painting of a tiger
Wow!
done by Edward Van Cotteren.
Holy smokes.
He's dead now.
That's
But that's a
beautiful.
very cool painting, and it's been sitting in my closet, and I think he'd rather have it being moved around. You know. So
And,
anyway, I'm sorry. but-
and I would like to see them restored to their former glories ASAP for the benefit of not only for rock and roll and for the Karinations, but for this town, because clearly, Stacey DC, do we need this guy in our town?
Well,
playing rock and roll
Desperately.
shows?
We put on a
You need to
show.
move back
We're
to
there to put on it.
Boston.
We're not there to stand on stage and sing about our ex-girlfriends and look at our fucking feet.
Right.
People drive sometimes to these shows. Not everyone lives in Boston.
Right.
And they gotta pay a cover to get in. And the draft beer is $5. And then they gotta stand through the two shitty bands playing before us.
Exactly.
To get to us. So by the time they get to us, we have to entertain them.
Exactly. So let's get to the plugs before the show is over. Karinations has a new record, right?
Yeah, it's called. Well, that didn't work.
Okay, good.
It's a compilation of misses.
I like it. Well, that didn't work. That's the name of this compilation.
We've been around that long. We actually have a hits compilation.
That's beautiful.
How strange is that?
All right, Chris Heavy Necker Cardone, do you have any Heavy Necker, or do you have any goddamn Draculas that you wanna?
First off, we have 2 songs that are currently being mastered over at Magneto Mastering in Minnesota that are going to be put out later this year, maybe early next year. We're playing a big gig Friday the 13th at Spotlight Tavern, the Rock and Roll Explosion.
Go ahead.
And then the next day on the 14th, goddamn Draculas are playing at Cuisine and Local.
Beautiful. Now known as Once. Sleazegrinder Super Show on Friday. The Gondoliers coming back from Europe. We're going to talk to them next week. Maybe Psychic Dog's going to be here, I think.
Maybe.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what's happening. And then after that, ex-punk rocker and current comedian / TV podcast host Ken Reed's going to be here. So lots of fun on the Sleazegrinder Show. We did it, everybody. We made it. V, thanks so much for being here.
Right, thanks for having me, guys.
Karinations, everybody. Stace, roll the credits. It's time to go.